Hello everyone and welcome to 10 Ways to Prepare for Knights of the Fallen Empire. Yeah, them story missions, we're going to have to do a lot of preparation for them. So the first thing, this is it's not really a top 10, it's just 10 things. So number 1 is going to be farm as many credits as you can. Now, we don't have to do as many credits as we did for 3.0, of course, because it no longer costs credits to learn our abilities when we level up. So we did have to do that day bloody one. If those of us who early accessed, BioWare just said fuck you, as early access pre-order people, and you know, we were told, hey, you gotta pay 1,000,000 credits when you hit level 60, and you know, they changed it for the launch. When the official launch came a week later, then they took away the cost, so that was nice of them to do that. But however, I imagine it'll still be the same in patch 4.0 because they took it out for all the leveling. So again, we don't need as many, maybe 1 to 2 million maybe, but bear in mind, if you want to get, you know, a piece of gear, last time we had to buy implants and we had to buy relics from the auction house from the GTN. So keep that in mind. A couple of million, you made about 1.5 million leveling if you vendored the gear, if you didn't need any gear while leveling, so bear that in mind as well. It's not huge, but it's something that I'd always do. I want to go in with a good few million, maybe 2-3 million, 1 to 2 might be enough for you. But yeah, you want to go in with a good couple of million into the next expansion, because bear in mind that crafting things, crafting materials, if you want to get any gear, any crafted gear or anything like that, going to be expensive in the first couple of days. Also the inflation costs as well. Generally when we have an expansion, generally repair costs go up, so it's always nice to have that little bit of a buffer zone. So yeah, getting as many credits as you can, do the dailies, you know, farm old flashpoint, should we say, you know, do these kinds of things to get your credits as high as possible. I'd say 2 to 3 should be okay. 2 to 3 mil should be fine. I've got bank calls, so I've got plenty of credits. So there's plenty of dailies as well, but we don't know if there's going to be any credit sinks in Knights of the Fallen Empire. So just don't get caught out. Don't get caught out by it. That's why we put that as number 1, the first thing that you're going to want to do. Number 2 is that we're going to cap out our commendations. Now, hasn't been revealed yet what they're going to do with commendations, but generally I imagine they'll do what they did in the last expansion. Probably roll the elites, ultimates, and basics into basics, essentially. Probably a 1-to-1 conversion for basics, and then there'll probably be... you'll probably get... if you get 1,000 basics and say, what is it? 300, is it 300 ultimate, 400 elite, they'll probably add up to another 1,000. Bear in mind they did introduce a 2,000 basic com overcap at the beginning of Shadow of Revan, so I imagine they'll do the same thing. So it's always good to go into the expansion with all your comms capped. Now, you're not going to keep the ultimates, you're not going to keep the elites, that's never going to happen. But I would it does give you a good advantage when you hit level 65 and you want to start getting into flashpoints and you want to start getting into new old operations. So you know, you want that advantage, really. You want to get that little bit of an advantage there. It leads into number 3, which is augment your gear. Get a full set of augmented gear. Now this will give you an advantage. It'll give you an advantage while leveling, of course, and it'll give you an advantage when you hit level 65 right away. Because if you want to be doing flashpoints, you want to be doing operations when you hit 65, then having a set of augmented gear does give you a slight edge. And we're talking about 186. Now there probably will be another tier of augments, but they will be, again, quite expensive, I would imagine. So having your 186s as a backup there, ready to go, will make the leveling smoother and quicker as well. Killing mobs will be a lot faster. So again, it's just going to get you through the leveling process and get you to the end content and get you into the operations. Although, why are we talking about operations and flashpoints? It'll get you through the story faster. Yeah, I mean, having augment alacrity, there you go. Increases the conversation speed, maybe, alacrity in 4.0, I don't know, but there you go. Just make sure you've got as much stats as you can get. Gear-wise, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Your actual gear doesn't matter because you'll get gear while leveling, and when you hit level 65 you'll be buying gear. But augments are going to be quite expensive because bear in mind how we get augments. I don't think it's going to change in 4.0. We're still going to have to get them from either crafters or buy them from the GTN. But in the first couple of weeks of an expansion, new augments are expensive, so having old augments in there, they are going to get the job done. They're going to give you that slight edge in hard mode flashpoints. We don't know how they're going to be tuned. So, I mean, we know what they're going to be, but they don't know how they're going to be tuned. So, just give yourself give yourself that little bit of an edge. 186 should be fine. 176, the blue ones, 178, I think they are. They'll be okay as well. But you prefer the 186 ones. They are fairly cheap right now. End of the expansion, augmentation kits, augments do go a little bit cheaper, you know, because people aren't really upgrading anymore and thinking about the next expansion. So it is just a thing to bear in mind. And we move on to number 4, and that is get your companion gifts. Now we don't know, we'll prefix this by saying we do not know whether your companion gifts will work in Knights of the Fallen Empire, although they do come with cartel packs, so I imagine they will. Bear in mind how we gear our companions in the next expansion is going to be influence, which is replacing affection. So getting as many companion gifts ready to go as possible means you get better gear. I have a whole legacy cargo bay full of companion gifts, okay, so I'm ready to go. I don't know if they'll affect affection or whether they'll probably translate from affection to influence. I'd imagine they will because they do sell them in cartel packs, so I'm imagining it is a cash shop item. That's where I've got most of mine. You can get them in cartel packs, you can get them, there's a companion gifts vendor, you can get them from diplomacy as well. Might be worth having diplomacy actually. It might be worth using that as a crew skill just so you can get your companions leveled up as well. So again, it's going to help you out. It's going to help you gear them because the more influence you have, the sort of more effective they'll be. That's what's replacing companion gear. So of course we want our companions to be effective. No word on presence, whether the presence is going to make any difference, but I'd imagine they'll probably just leave that. We do know the main stats are going. There's no need really to re-gear your character because we'll do that at level 65 anyway. I don't think the leveling is going to be challenging enough for us to bother re-gearing our characters. I just don't think it's going to be worth it, to be perfectly honest with you. Number 5, which we're going to say don't do this now, okay, is to vendor your companion gear. Do this before the expansion, just before it launches, like the day before it launches. Get rid of it, you don't need it anymore. You're going to be dropping companion gear anyway. You are going to get the companion's gear back from companions that you lose in the story. So, well, some companions are going to be away for the story. Obviously, you get frozen in carbonite for a while, so I think it's what 5-10 years you get frozen in carbonite, so you're gonna lose your companions. My suggestion again, make a few extra credits, vendor that devoted allies gear. It does sell quite nicely, so just vendoring that. You won't need it in the next expansion. Don't do it now though. Don't do it now because you still need the gear right now. Do it either just after Knights of the Fallen Empire launches or the day before it. So we'll just say that right now. So it's going to be useless to you. Anyway, devoted allies gear, most people have it anyway. Most people have it. It's easy to get. Just farm Yavin weekly to get it. But yeah, kind of pointless really in the next expansion. Number 6. Now we're going to talk about the end game. Make sure that you get all the level 50 to 55 operations and flashpoint achievements. Don't know how achievements are going to be affected. Also, make sure you do Eternity Vault and Karaga's Palace Nightmare because they are going to be removed in the next expansion. They're going to be removed in 4.0. So make sure that you do them, okay? Make sure that you do them. To get the achievements, there's titles as well. I think there's the Unyielding and the Infernal, which will no longer be obtainable. So make sure you do the timed run. It's fairly easy to do at level 60. EVKP Nightmare are a joke, really. You could walk in with six people. You could do 16 man with about 6 people. You can do 8 man with 2 people if you want. really, 2 to 4 people. It won't take a huge amount of time to do, but I suggest getting all the achievements, because if people want you for pugs to link achievements, especially things like Lost Island, I don't know what they're going to do, whether they're going to add new achievements. Bear in mind they're quite lazy, so I'd imagine they'll just leave the achievements as they are. So, I mean, people will want, and even if you haven't done it, if if it's the first couple of weeks and nobody has achievements, people might want their, douchebag pug groups might want you to have done the op before at a previous level, even though they're face roll easy. We might get that. So get them now while they're really easy to get. Level 55 ones, you can queue Group Finder to get the story mode ones. But yeah, you can easily get the hard and the nightmare ones. Also do EC, try and get the Warstalker title as well. Would be a good idea as well. EC Nightmare is fairly easy these days. The only boss that might give you problems is the minefield, because you need someone who knows what they're doing, and there's a lot of one-shot abilities in that one. But again, if you disarm a mine, you also get the Minesweeper title as well. So if you want the Warstalker title, best time to get it is right now, because I don't know if EC Nightmare is getting removed. They haven't said, so it might not be available. Maybe all nightmares are going to drop the same gear as hard modes, so I don't know if they're going to remove all of them, but the ones that have been confirmed are Eternity Vault and Karagas Palace, but make sure you do them. Number 7, finish your class story. Quite simple, really. If you haven't finished your class story yet, I'd suggest now is the time to finish. I've got a lot of class stories I haven't finished, to be honest with you. Most of my alts don't have their class story finished. If I've already done it on one character, I'm not going to do it on another character. So whatever character we pick for our main, we'll probably finish their class story if we haven't already. Again, some things from your class story might carry over into Knights of the Fallen Empire, so it is good to finish it off, and of course do the Rishi quest as well. Would be pretty interesting. You can also do the McKeb staged weekly if you really want to do that. That's getting removed as well from the game. A lot of things being removed in this expansion, actually. We'll move on to number 8, and that is get HK51 and Treek. Get those 2 companions, because you're not going to lose those 2 companions as a result. Okay, they said cartel ones and ones you had to earn through quests. HK and Treek. Again, it's going to be, bear in mind that they did have, at least now they have crafting buffs. Okay, so they have good crafting buffs. So if you're going to be a crafter in 4.0, we don't know which companions we're going to lose, don't know which companions we're going to keep, don't know what our companions' crafting skills are going to be. So having HK and Treek is going to be an advantage for you. Okay, it's going to be an advantage to have them. Also, number 9 will do farm the meat bags achievement. Okay, it's not going to be soloable. Okay, I don't think it's going to be soloable. Get the meat bag title just because it looks cool. It looks cool. Okay, kill HK51. I think it's 25 times in Foundry, and I think it's 25 times in False Emperor hard mode. So yeah, do that. Do that. It's something to do, isn't it? Log in, go kill HK a couple of times. And, Meatbag is a cool title. Whether it's going to be obtainable in the next expansion, I don't know. Don't know yet, but I'd get it now. It's quite easy to solo. You can do it solo. Just walk in, kill the first boss in, what is it called? False Emperor. You can skip the first boss in Foundry, go straight to HK, kill him. We did a video on how to efficiently farm it, but yeah, you can grab that. It's a cool title, Meatbag. Yeah, it's a cool title. You want to be a meat bag, especially for a tank, I think. I like my tanks to have a meat bag. And number 10 is get yourself a cool outfit. You're going to be frozen in Carbonite for, I think it's 10 years or something like that. I don't remember what they said in the live stream, to be honest. You're going to be frozen in Carbonite for 10 years, potentially. You want to look cool when you get out. Like, get a cool outfit, okay? Work on the outfit. You've got to get the outfit designer. Get yourself a nice outfit. Whether you grind for it for credits or you get it from the cartel market, just get something look cool. You want to look good in Carbonite. You don't want to go into Carbonite and, not look good. A couple of other things that we're going to put in as well for this one is make sure your spacebar works. If the story's shit, we're going to have to use it. So, make sure you test your spacebar out. Just test it out. On a couple of things, make sure it works in case the story's shit as well. So that's a couple of other things. What I'm going to be doing, if you're watching the background video and saying, what the fuck is this? This ain't SWTOR. This is what I'm doing. I'm leveling a priest, okay? Leveling a priest in WoW. That's what I'm doing to prepare for 4.0, because I don't need to do any of this stuff. So, that's what I'm doing to prepare. Not really playing SWTOR that much, because there's not a lot to do right now. There's not a lot in the game that I think is worth doing. But there's 10 things that you can do if you're bored and waiting for Shadow Revan to end, should we say, waiting for it to end, finally the pain to be over and Knights of the Fallen Empire to begin. So there you go. And if you got any other tips to share, feel free to share them in the comments. I think we covered most things. The only thing is crafters as well. Maybe max out your crafting, but then crafters will have their things maxed out. The other thing you want to do is, of course, get materials. Okay, we forgot about that. Get crafting materials early on in Knights of the Fallen Empire, because they do sell for a premium. Not really the green ones, but the blue and the purple ones tend to sell for quite a bit on the GTN. So if you want to make yourself a good bit of credits at the beginning of an expansion, get your things like your diplomacy and your treasure hunting and things like that up. So things you get the blue and purple crafting materials out, get them level quick when you start the expansion, and you'll make a good bit of credits out of it. I remember seeing purple things sell for like 1.8 million first day of the expansion. Things are expensive in the first day, so I would make sure that take advantage of that. Take advantage of that early expansion rush for crafting materials. It tends to peter out after a while and the value falls off, so I would do that anyway. So anyway, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon in Knights of the Fallen Empire at least, and goodbye.